would give you an idea as a buyer organization that which certain seller organizations or prospective seller organizations you probably would want to work with for this procurement cycle to select the right seller or vendor for your need. Based on which we are going to give the RFP, request for proposal. Request for proposal is definitely a document which is requesting a proposal from the seller organization. So it is generated by the buyer organization. And the request for proposal document is very, very important document in the procurement world. Request for proposal document would have everything that the prospective sellers need to know about your needs and expectation as a buyer organization, which is going to be covered from a statement of work. So you remember I told you guys that statement SOW is also interchangeably used for the project scope when it is actually a terminology associated with the procurement scope of work and not the project scope of work. But in organizations, SOW is a very, very interchangeably used terminology for scope of work. But it's like a terminology for the procurement. It's about the scope, but it's a procurement scope. We are going to talk about the statement of work in the next conversation is about the statement of work. So this is a very high level cycle for the procurement documents or the bidding documents. It's not necessary that you go with every other document, like I said earlier, that it's very much possible that you are clear in your head that you are not going to explore any services or details about your prospective seller organization for the reason that you are already aware what they are offering and what is their quality, what is their market reputation, and you are pretty much okay with whatever their services are, but you are really interested in the quotation that they are going to provide you, and based on that you want to decide that are you really interested in offering them the whole are you really interested to make them part of the procurement process or not? And most of the time it happens, especially when I used to be in the IPEX organization. Their bidding process was so common. It was always happening in front of us because the business development and the business analyst team, they used to sit with us in parallel to our cabins, and we were also involved as a stakeholder in that process. So we used to see that most of the time they used to exclude us as an organization after the RFQ is provided, for the very same reason that I'm telling, that the organization used to be expensive for the buyer organization, and they even when they were really interested in working with us, they couldn't because of the budgetary constraints. So, and this is okay because this even vendor selection process is very huge. If you are starting it from the very beginning, the vendor selection process followed by the not followed by the but like including the contract creation and contract signing process is very huge. So you want to only go with those entities or those groups who you are really interested to proceed with going forward. So RFP actually is a more comprehensive document which talks about everything actually. So RFP tells you about the statement of work primarily, that what do we want from the seller organization. The statement of work should be as detailed as possible. As much you know about it. It should not be a 1-2-liner statement. It should be a detailed document. And other than that, the RFP would have some introduction about the buyer company or buyer organization, the buyer team, their offerings, their services, their business, maybe their reputation in the market, which is all of that is going to be covered in the company profile. Some bidding document, maybe you may include some formats or templates for the supplier to help them out that you probably fill all of this to submit your proposal or attach that with the proposal later on. And the RFP may have the expectation setting for the prospective sellers about this procurement in case they are going to be selected later on. So it can be expectation setting with respect to their policies. It can be expectation settings with respect to their rules and regulations, with respect to their governance processes, with respect to their approval mechanisms. That can also go in the RFP document.